so tonight we're going to focus on Oroonoko, written by Aphra Behn. It was written in 1688, and during this time, gender roles, gender norms were super enforced. Women couldn't really do anything unless the male guardian or their male protector or whoever said that they could. And also during this time, slavery was a very quote, contentious topic. That's from Dr. Navu's lecture. Oroonoko was one of the first documents that was written that argued that slavery was wrong and that it caused a lot of physical, mental, and emotional horrors and abuse in slaves. So, real quick, let's run over the main characters. Oroonoko, who was later named Caesar when he was in slavery, is the main guy, hence the title of the novella being Oroonoko. Secondly, Amoinda, who's named Clemen after she's put in slavery. She was basically Oroonoko's fiance, and then the mean little granddad stole her from Oroonoko. And then the captain, I put him in here because I think he goes along with the Aphra Behn's message of the abuses of slavery. He causes Oroonoko to be put into slavery. And then the narrator, we don't have a name for her, we just know that she was on the same island that Oroonoko and Amoinda were, and she knew them. So I only mentioned these 4 characters because I feel like these are the main 4 that embody the message of abuse in slavery that Aphra Behn's trying to push. Alright, one of the main concepts, as I already mentioned, is how terrible slavery is for the slaves. It can cause damage not only physically, like getting beaten, but also mentally. And this happened a lot with Oroonoko because he went from being a prince, he went from royalty and being in an honorable position and being looked up to, having rights, freedoms, to all of a sudden being a slave, and he had nothing. He all of a sudden had to serve other people instead of have people serve him, and he was inferior and he was demoted, and that caused some serious mental damage for him, and eventually it got to be too much and he just couldn't stand trying to be both the prince and a slave. It couldn't work. You can't be those two things at the same time. So I think the main turning point here in Oroonoko is when the prince gets captured. The sneaky captain had him come look at the ship, and then he chained him up and sold him into slavery. And this is where Oroonoko's life changes. Basically, before this, it's been pretty much the same. He's had a pretty good life, all things considering. And then after this, all of a sudden, everything does a 180-degree turn. And Oroonoko can't really switch that fast emotionally and mentally. It's very hard and it's very demanding, and he really wasn't able to do it. And this is kind of what Aphra Behn is pushing. Slavery is bad and it is hard for the slaves, and it's almost impossible for them to totally switch. If in Oroonoko's case, he was a prince, and then all of a sudden he was a nobody, a servant. So I did use these works, the anthology and then the lecture on August 14th, and I hope this helped.